partisan, us versus them. While we pay to keep our politicians fighting, how do we, the people, rise up and solve the great challenges of our time? We do it by embracing freedom and liberty. There may be no such thing as a free lunch, but this hour is as close as it gets. Welcome to A Free Solution.
Yes, it is Larry Sharp here, usually host of the Sharpway Show, but today, so happy to be with you on A Free Solution. WYSL Rochester, New York, WACK in Newark, New York, which, by the way, is the cool Newark. Sorry, Jersey. Reach out to me if you like to. 585-346-3000. You might know that I have two daughters, and I have to discipline them sometimes. I have to train them sometimes. I have to work with them sometimes, as any good father would have to do. At the same time, I have a wife, their mother, who feels that she must also do these things, which is a good thing. The bad part about this is we don't always agree. Yes, that's the challenging aspect of this parenting piece, which I'm sure you probably know. But my wife has a way sometimes of asking my daughters to do things, or if they want to do something, and if they give the wrong answer, she gets angry. And my response is, well, don't ask them then. Just tell them. Just be forward. You're the mom. You're my daughter. You're doing X. You're doing Y. Or you're not doing X. Or you're not doing Y. If you ask them, then that's a choice. And if you're going to give them a choice, you should respect it. And if they say no, you should say, okay. And whatever consequences come from that, that's okay. But you gave them a choice. Or don't give them one. Now, that's my view. I'm sure many parents would disagree with me. And that's okay. You should raise your kids as you see fit. But I have a problem with false choice. Either it's a choice or it's not. And there may be consequences, right, for the choice that you make. That's possible. I don't mind that. But a choice is a choice, or it's not. And if I don't like the fact that it's not a choice, if I'm an adult, I have the option to walk away from that relationship, right? If you're not giving me a choice in my relationship, then I have the right to walk away from that relationship. Kids sadly don't. Maybe not sadly, but kids don't. Kids are stuck in that relationship, and that's how that works. So why would I bring that up? And I know that many times when you listen to me, you wonder, why in the world does Larry tell me silly stories? I do. Because they always link to something. And the real thing that it's linking to is how we function in New York State. And sadly, in most of the country. We have an illusion of choice. Not a real choice. And if we don't say yes, it's not really an option. And let me give you a couple of options. A couple of examples. Most recently, in New York State, in theory, we have a democratic primary system. We have a system where the voters pick who they want. Yeah, that's an illusion of choice. Why do I say that? If you're a Democrat in New York State, do you have a primary? You don't. So the Democratic Party decided Governor Hochul is our candidate. How many Democrats in New York State voted for that? The answer will be none. She's the one. Okay, that's fine. Maybe the Republicans are better. If you're a Republican in New York State, where was your primary? There is none. The Republican Party decided that their guy is their guy, and that's it. You don't get a choice. So if you're a Republican, you don't get a choice. If you're a Democrat, you don't get a choice. What if you're a Libertarian? Well, guess what? You're not even a party anymore. They removed you from the ballot. So according to New York State, you have two choices. The person who the Republican establishment chose and the person who the Democratic establishment chose. That's what you get.
Tom, Indiana.
And in a state that is 3-1, Democrat to Republican, is that really a choice? Is that really a choice? That's an illusion of choice. And if you go, I don't like Kathy Hochul, you get her anyway. We have a system to where unless you have a hardcore outsider who tries to push in, I know one who's trying, then there's no choice. In theory, there is a system that would provide us some choice, but there isn't. And of course, or pushback I get, but Larry, that's the state. But locally, local government's more important. And in many cases, that's true. Local government is often more important. But what about locally? Do you have primaries locally? Hardly ever. Same thing. And most of the counties and districts are so gerrymandered that you already know who's going to win. So the parties select their leaders and you get them. No choice. In a system that supposedly gives us choice. That's what makes me angry. I would rather have a monarchy. At least I know what's going on. That's it. But of all of these, the worst part is we're like children because we don't have a choice. We can't leave the system. The system is our system. The only way to leave the system is to literally leave the state and then hope there's a place for you that you would enjoy, that you can thrive in some other state that has a better system. But most of our states don't. There's the sad part. Most of our states don't. And then why in the world do you or me have to actually pack up and leave our family, our friends, all of them, because our system is bad? Why in the world we do that? That's not what I'm looking for. That's not the right answer. You might say, okay, Larry. Doesn't matter. Because even though they basically have given us an aristocracy, have given us kings and queens nobility, no worries, because they're going to help us. So it's fine. I know people who think that. But I would ask you, the people who are giving us help, do we have a choice in what help we get? We don't. They decide. So in this case, Kathy Hochul, before that, Andrew Cuomo, they pick what matters. You don't. What if you don't think that it matters? What if you think that priority A is more important than priority B? You might say, well, Larry, you can vote. We've expressed that. No, you can't. Doesn't matter. So your vote doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. Locally, doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. So what's your recourse? I can yell on Twitter? You can. That's something, I guess. You might feel better about yourself. Good for you. Is it going to change anything? No. Kathy Hochul will decide what her priorities are. I hope they match yours. They might. So I hope they match yours. If they match yours, you're good. If they don't, oh well, let's hope they pick a better monarch next time, whenever that is, 10 years from now, when they pick a new monarch. Let's hope you get a good one then. The last one wasn't so good. And his priorities were not my priorities. Sadly, hers aren't mine either. So there's no glory for me. I've got to hope that 10 years from now, when they pick the new monarch, that monarch might be a good one for me. I mean, it's not going to be true, but I guess it could be my hope. This is where we are now in New York State and many other states. The fact that our political system doesn't actually give us choice. It gives us a facade of choice, which is actually more insulting to me. I'd rather just have an out-and-out monarch. At least I know what I'm doing. I know where I got. This one, people think we're in charge, and we're not. I think the illusion of choice is actually worse. Am I right? Am I wrong? I'm happy to hear your 2 cents on this, because there's more heavily in New York, other places. Larry Sharp here on WYSL, a free solution. Back after the break.
Tom will hang on the line.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate.
It's
Slow, unreliable networks
Tommy from
and servers
Indiana.
can
I guess
cause
you guys know
unplanned
each other.
downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are
Yeah,
here
and
to
when we
help.
come back,
Their
I'll play
preventative
one of the
maintenance
King
program
Cuomo
ensures
oldie
that
but
your
goodie
computers
clips.
and network are kept up to date
Great.
and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovation should be your first call. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A-plus Better Business
I left
Bureau
this
rating.
unmuted,
Call them
sorry.
today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
Oh, those injury attorney ads.
Hurt on your couch? Call 555-OUCH.
It's kind of cute watching that injury attorney buying breakfast for a crash test dummy, but while fun is fun, there's nothing amusing about getting your life back together after a personal injury or a motorcycle accident, or when you need defense for a DWI charge. Christopher Johnson takes your case seriously, and you'll feel like you're his only client because when you meet with him, your case gets 100% of his attention. So instead of cute singing jingles and magic phone numbers,
Fall out of a tree? Call 33333.
write this number down and keep it with you. 585-415-3803. 415-3803. After all, Christopher Johnson knows you're no dummy. Get individual attention and integrity, experience, and expertise. Put the power of one on your legal team. 415-3803. Stay safe, be healthy, drive sober. Christopher Johnson Attorney, personal injury, car or motorcycle accidents, DWI defense.
As a veteran of the United States military, I can finally get the opportunity to enjoy special events, things that we couldn't afford, thanks to VetTix. Every empty seat at a concert, a game, or a play is a missed opportunity to say thanks to a veteran and service member. We can give our veterans a special event where they too can create their own cherished memories. Visit vettix.org. Find out how you can make a difference in a veteran's life.
Only available in the WYSL store at WYSL1040.com, the official Mount Rushmore line of merchandise. Top quality tees, hoodies, and coffee mugs depicting Mount Rushmore style are for worst presidents. Of course, you know who's front and center up on that mountain, and we think you'll recognize the other three. Mount Rushmore items make perfect gifts. They're a great way for you to make a personal statement. Mount Rushmore, locally produced and sold only in the WYSL store at WYSL1040.com.
A free solution.
These extreme conservatives who are right to life, pro-assault weapon, anti-gay, they have no place in the state of New York because that's not who New Yorkers are.
Well, that's an oldie but a goodie. Our former king, His Majesty, recently deposed, King Cuomo II, has recently come back into the forefront. But his views are common for many New Yorkers and most of our leadership. His words, no place for conservatives in this state. And sadly for us, many of them have taken him at his word and packed up and left. Just gone. In fact, too many New Yorkers have just packed up and left and gone. Luckily, I'm still here. Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution. WYSL, Rochester, New York. WACK, Newark, New York. 585-346-3000. Still here. Not gone yet. Before the break, I was talking about an illusion of choice. And I think it really is serious. But let me grab a quick call if I could. I'm going to grab Tommy from Indiana. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine, Larry.
What's going on, my friend?
Really glad. I'm really glad that you picked this topic, Larry, because
okay.
When I start thinking about it, I get distraught because we don't really have, and it's not just New York, Larry. It's everywhere.
Yes.
We don't have choice. And this is where I agree with you that we really, as a nation, as a republic, we need to change and go to rank file voting.
Ranked choice voting is so important. I completely agree.
You know, to add to what you said, let's go a little deeper.
Okay.
Do we even have real elections? Can you guarantee?
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Can you guarantee beyond a shadow of a doubt when you go vote that your vote is actually, one, counted, and two, does it mean something? Because, Larry, I see it here in Indiana all the time. People will have a candidate on the ballot that, one, is for them, two, that is willing to work, three, is dedicated to the cause, and what happens? They're pushed aside, they're disregarded by the powers that be, and they're made out to be nut jobs because that doesn't fit the authoritarian government program that we're in right now.
Yep. I agree on many levels, right? The first one that I feel is a problem is the idea of mainstream media and mainstream polling companies falling into exactly that narrative you just said, right? So when here comes Tommy Brown trying to make something happen, the media goes, wait a minute. If he doesn't fit into our narrative, then we can't make this story that we want to make. And if we can't make that story, I'm going to ignore him. And then, of course, the public doesn't get that. The public just gets, no one's talking about Tommy. Well, that means he must not be valuable then, which, of course, makes no sense. But that is how a lot of people feel. I think you're right. And I would push it even further into the mainstream media and polling on top of it. I would add that on top of what you just said.
You know, and the other thing that I will add before I jump off here, Larry, is at this particular juncture of this republic in New York State and Indiana, and actually the whole democracy, we need to embrace the words of Thomas Jefferson did not like political parties. He hated them. It's time that we get them to the point we deregulate them to where they are political activist groups. They can endorse a candidate. You remove all political symbols from the ballot. It's too easy. People are Republican. Oh, well, Joe Schmo, he's got an R beside his name. Ding.
Yep.
Oh, he's a Democrat. Ding. Voting is so dumbed down. Nobody does any research anymore, and heaven forbid they ask a question.
I have to go one step further. Again, I'm with you, but not just he's got an R ding or he's got a D ding. She's got an R, so no. He's got a D, so no. No matter what, I'm not going to vote for the other crazy guy or gal. So not only will I vote for somebody, I will also vote against somebody. And to your point, They may be the right person for me. They may have some good ideas. They may be a good human being. They may care about me. Doesn't matter. They have that R or that D, or sometimes in our case, the L, and people say no. I think both of them are wrong.
Yep, you're right, buddy. But
Absolutely.
listen, I will get with you later. I need to talk to you anyway, but I wanted to call in and weigh in on this because
Appreciate it, my
this
friend.
topic really it really bothers me from the heart.
Excellent. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the call.
All right, thanks, brother. Bye bye.
All right. Well, let me walk down his road. Right? He's talking about, voting. So let me go back to choice again. If you are in New York State and you are a Democrat or Republican and you give money to either of those parties, understand something. Money you give to those parties is used by those parties every single year to throw people off the ballot. Yeah. They go out of their way to challenge signatures, to sue people, throw them off the ballot, to try to get their Congress people or their assemblymen to create rules that will make things harder. You may or may not know this. In 2018, when I ran for governor, the rules were I had to get 50,000 votes to now be able to be on the ballot. Not to win, to get on the ballot. That's it. To get 50,000 votes took me hundreds of thousands of dollars and a year of my life. We got it. A year later, New York State decided, oh, no, we can't have that, and removed my party status in a budget item. Gone. Now, 100,000 people voted for me. You just disenfranchised 100,000 New Yorkers with a stroke of a pen and didn't care. And of course, we did what we had to do. We sued them, costing us time and money again. And the judges said, don't care. You're too expensive. We're going to be paying for elections. And so we don't need any more parties. So you got to go. I'm not joking. That's what actually happened. So too bad. So I have to run again now. And they made it sure for me to run. I had to before, just to get on a ballot for someone to have the opportunity to vote for me, I must get 45,000 signatures within 6 weeks. That's going to cost me, or anybody else, at least $250,000. Let me ask you, if you want to be on a ballot for governor, do you happen to have $250,000? Can you raise $250,000? That is literally a barrier for your choice. You don't have to vote for me. You should vote for me. You don't have to vote for me. But what damage is it for me to be on the ballot for people who do want to vote for me or anybody else? Why should anyone else be kicked off? Howie Hawkins. Why does the Green Party get kicked off? Why do these parties get kicked off? Why does the Independence Party get kicked off? They're all gone. You don't have a choice. You have to fight with two people or one guy who's going to fight through this. And I'm going to go one step further. When I ran in 2018, I was the only person running who was not getting a government check. Now, I'm running again. I'm the only person not getting a government check. You might go, Larry, why does it matter? Because you are paying them. You are paying them to run. They are getting a salary and they get on the ballot automatically. And they have a party with literally millions of dollars behind them. I have to raise $250,000 as a third party just to get on the ballot. That's not commercials. That's not time and money. That's not my team. That's not Facebook ads. That's just so I can be on the ballot. How much must they pay? Nothing. That's our system. And we have choice? That's choice? That's not choice. That is an establishment person's game. Am I wrong? Tell me. 585-346-3000. A free solution. WYSL. Back with your calls and your comments after the break.
Celebrating 35 years.
WYSL.
AM 1040 Avon Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
Here's the latest forecast from the Newstead NBC Weather Center for tonight. Partly cloudy skies. We'll drop back into the mid-20s out there, so a seasonable chill in the air. On your Wednesday, we'll turn kind of cloudy. We might see a light rain or snow shower in the afternoon, especially in the Finger Lakes region. Temperatures will be in the 30s, low 40s on Wednesday. Thursday looks fair, not a bad day at all. Sun and clouds with temperatures in the 30s and 40s. I'm Rich Canilia, WYSL.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
WYSL.
Rock On Harley-Davidson and Rock On Power Sports, West Henrietta Road. Shop the greatest selection of legendary Harleys and save big on a wide array of used bikes. And Rock On Power Sports has rides from Honda, Kawasaki, and Yamaha. Rock On has a helpful staff to save you big money. The Rock On Service Department has expert technicians and a great supply of parts to get and keep you on two wheels. WYSL listeners get $500 off used motorcycles while supplies last. Rock On has side-by-sides, ATVs, and jet boats too. Anything that's fun and goes fast. On and off-road and on the water, shop the all-new Rock On first. Rock On Harley-Davidson and Rock On Motorsports, 2600 West Henrietta Road. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Call 424-2120. Visit rockonharleydavidson.com.
Looking for something meaningful to do? As a Camp Good Days volunteer, you'll work with children and adults who will inspire you. Just listen to what one volunteer says about her experience.
It's unlike any other thing that I've ever experienced in my life. I won the lottery 10 times fold. My husband and I plan all year on what we're going to do for these kids.
Learn more about many volunteer opportunities at Camp Good Days and special times on the web at campgooddays.org.
Families who choose cremation may worry about security. Are the ashes in the urn, in fact, their loved ones? Bartolomeo and Prado Funeral Home is Monroe County's exclusive provider of cremation with confidence. Their 10-step cremation process guarantees that the cremated remains returned to you are those of your loved one. To learn more about cremation with confidence, call Bartolomeo and Prado Funeral Home, 720-6000.
An experienced professional with more than 15 years in dentistry, Dr. David Olivo welcomes new patients to his family practice at 2005 Lyle Avenue. At the office of Dr. Olivo, you'll discover a warm and comforting environment staffed by professionals who are committed to providing the best available dental care while assuring your complete comfort. Call 328-3382 for an appointment. Dr. David Olivo, offering quality dentistry with a gentle touch.
It's true, many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than preparing for retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, I agree. And I'd like to help. I'm Anthony Dijon, Edward Jones Financial Advisor.
All right,
Together
we have Craig from Clinton on the line.
Strategy the attention it deserves.
And we'll play another great Cuomo clip as we come back.
Give us a call at 585-924-7471. That's 585-924-7471.
WYSL and the Roberts Wesleyan Athletic Department proudly feature the Red Hawk Report Tuesday and Thursday mornings at 8:45 and Wednesday afternoons at 4:45. Each week, the Roberts Wesleyan Athletic Department will keep you up to date on vital issues in the Rochester area's only Division II sports program. The Red Hawk Report is made possible by Golisano Children's Hospital and Heritage Christian Services. The Red Hawk Report, exclusively on your local college sports leader, WYSL 92.1 FM and 1040 AM.
A free solution.
And if there is a move to deport immigrants, I say then start with me.
Okay. I accept your proposal. Okay, done. Let's start with you. And then once we're done with you, let's stop deportations. Done. Not too bad. Yes, that is our former Lord and Master, our former king, His Majesty King Andrew Cuomo II. But he is now deposed, trying to reboot himself. For those of you who don't know, he recently spoke at a church. I think that's right. Recently spoke at a church, and he's talking about how he was framed. He's an awesome guy, and he stepped down because he loves us. He's such a great guy. Look at that. How unlucky were we that he had to step down because he was framed, I guess. He'll be mounting his forces, gathering his forces, and mounting his counterattack to retake his throne, I'm sure, in a couple years from now. And if we don't have choice, he might win. Ugh. Larry Sharp, here, WYSL, a free solution, WACK, Newark, New York. Yes, I am here. So happy. And if you like the show, guess what? It's on every single day, Monday through Friday at noon. You get me on Tuesdays. You get the awesome, super cool Tim O'Connor on Thursdays, and also sometimes Fridays too. You get Craig Miles on here sometimes, and you, believe it or not, you get Kevin Wilson. Come on. What an awesome lineup. And they're all good looking. Not as good looking as me, obviously, but still good looking. So I'm going to grab a call if I could. I'm going to grab Craig from Clinton. How are you, sir?
Not bad. How are you, Larry?
I'm doing great. What's the good news?
Well, I just heard some about the Lord and Master coming back. I'm going to say, I wouldn't necessarily, it's like the devil, right? Kathy, she annoys me to no end because she seems to be a puppet. I at least respected Andrew because he was the one pulling the strings. He was the puppet master. He was evil. You always wondered, what's he going to do next? And it was kind of like, I hate that he beats me every time, but how's he going to do it? Like, what's he going to do this time?
I don't know. I mean, you're right. What do we want? Would we rather have Hochul or would we rather have Cuomo? And I got to tell you, if I have to pick, I mean, it's like, which cancer do I want, right? I mean, which fatal cancer do I want? And if I'm picking which fatal cancer I want, I think I'm going with Hochul. I mean, Cuomo's a bad human being. Hochul is much more of a robot, but he's a bad human being. I would rather have, wow, I can't believe I'd say that, but if those are my only two choices, and that's all I've got, maybe I do what Gary Johnson did in 2016 when they were teasing him about voting for Hillary or Trump. And they said, well, come on, you're a third party. If you had to pick, between Trump and Hillary, which one would you pick? And he goes, what do you mean? None. There's a third party. They said, no, gun to head. He said, pull the trigger. That's what he said. I love that. Pull the trigger.
I don't know how, I didn't know that story, but knowing that story now, I've always been a Gary Johnson fan. I voted for him. He was, I voted for him. And that's amazing. He's like, just put me out of my misery, honestly.
Yes.
You got it.
Pull the trigger.
Yeah, put me out of my misery. Actually, figuratively, I think a lot of people are doing that. They're like, my choice is this or this. Pull the trigger. I'm out of here. I'm done with this state. I'm gone.
And, I got to tell you, you're finding our governor is finally at least talking about that. And there's difference again. Cuomo never even mentioned it because he knew that the people leaving New York State were people who weren't voting for him. He knew that as conservatives and more Republican-leaning people left the state, his power was strengthened. So he didn't mind if they left. He was like, go. It's fine. Leave. Hochul at least is announcing and saying, we're losing all these people. We got to do something at least. I mean, she's incompetent. But at least, look, the first step to fixing a problem is admitting you have one. So at least she's admitting it.
Yeah, I think it's in the same way that Uncle Joe admitted it during his address, though. They admit that there's a problem, but they don't admit that there's a cause of it, and then they continue to do the things that are causing the problem. So how good is it, really?
I mean, that was the great thing about Cuomo that he was amazing at. He would announce how bad he was by saying all the bad things and then act like he wasn't here for it and he's going to fix it now. He would say, and this is terrible, and we got to fix it. And this is terrible, and we got to fix it. And I'd say, homeboy, you've been in charge for 8 years. It's your fault. And he'd be like, well, I wish there was someone in charge to fix this. And this is what Uncle Joe does and what Kathy Hochul does too. But at least what she can say is she wasn't officially in charge. So I guess she has a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I pulled you all over the place, Craig. Why did you call?
Well, the question is, do we care enough here in New York State, the people that are still here, to actually make the change? Because I feel like people just want their dad in charge or their mom. And is that because we're fighting two battles here? It's like, look at all this nasty stuff. Look at, we have solutions, but do people even want that? I think they just want to be coddled, honestly. And if I'm a Republican, I want to go down and see Uncle Ronnie. He's cool. I'll go see him. I don't necessarily care if he's controlling people. I want to be controlled in the way I want to be controlled.
Right. And this is the reason why I brought up in the beginning of the show, I brought up the idea of parenting, because you're right. There are a lot of government officials who think they're our parents. They think they're our mom or our dad. You've heard our governor say, literally, my number one issue is to keep New Yorkers safe. You're not my mom. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't want you to be my mom, but you kind of are becoming my mom. But I don't want you to be my mom, right? But to your point, some people would love for her to be their mom. And I'm not against that concept, but that should be voluntary. We're adults, not children, right? Children don't have a choice. Adults do. If you want to follow everything that she says as if she's your mom, no worries. Go ahead. Just follow her like she's your mom. I'm okay with that. That's on you. But why do we all have to be her sons and daughters? I don't want to do that. That's my issue. But I think you have a valid point. We have to think to ourselves, are we so desperate and so scared that we won't make a move? And this goes back to what I spoke about many times in the past. People don't make a change because times are bad. They make a change because times are bad and they see hope. Our job as a third party, our job as people who want to fix this state, our job as people who care about our state is not to go other guy bad, but instead show some hope. Say, hey, there's hope for a future. Come to us and make a change. And just doing that will actually make better Democrats and better Republicans.
I think there's an opportunity for that now too, because I don't think anything on the state level, at least, has quite filled the COVID vacuum yet. We had to listen to King Andrew, we had to listen to Kathy to see how we were going to survive for the past 2 years. Now COVID's not a thing, and we got that Ukraine thing going on, but they don't really have a thing at the state level, I feel like, to be like, no, you got to listen to me, you got to do what I got to do. Otherwise you're screwed. So
I'm telling you what it's going to be already. You ready?
Yeah.
Energy. So it's going to be. It's going to be energy. It's going to be gas and energy, electricity, and it's all because of the Russians. Don't forget, it's not because we have terrible governors and terrible presidents. No, it's all Putin's fault. He did everything. It's all his fault. He's new boogeyman. So Putin man bad, and it's all his fault. And they're going to save us from the Putin energy crisis that was not going to happen at all without Putin because they were perfect, governors and presidents.
Yeah, I think you're right. And you know what? I heard there was this one guy running for governor that had a plan for energy.
I know. There's this guy. His name's Larry Sharp, and we were discussing. He's handsome, so don't be mad and think that he can't also be smart. He can be both, and also modest. Of all the things, he can be that too. Absolutely.
There's a lot of things I'm great at, but the thing I'm most proud of is my modesty.
That's correct. Yes. My modesty is second to no one's. Absolutely.
I love it. You say that as a joke, but I feel like that could have been a quote unironically from our governor, from Andrew Cuomo.
Yes. He actually would have said that. I'm being ironic, but no, he's serious. That's my Cuomo impression. I'm the most modest man in the world. That's my Cuomo impression. Yes. I love that. All right, brother. I appreciate the call.
Yes, thank you. And looking forward to that hope.
All righty, my friend. Talk to you soon.
Yep.
So I think what he's saying is real. We are going to have to be able to accept that we don't need a parent. And if some people do want a parent, let them have it. But let's not force everyone to make that happen. And that's why Liberty works so well. And that's the free solution. Yes, the show you're on. Larry Sharp, a free solution. WYSL, 585-346-3000. I promise I'll get to the chat after the break.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
Dear Dr. Sussman.
Dear Dr. Sussman, I just wanted to write to all the wonderful people who work with Dr. Sussman and Dr. Pogel at the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Each person in the office made me feel my smile.
Not only am I completely happy with my smile, but I feel you've been there for me with all my dentistry
I've had several dentists in my life, but never a dentist of your caliber. You have state-of-the-art.
You keep current in your field as evidenced by your numerous diplomas and certificates, and your entire staff is really the cream
I'm
of the
thrilled with the outcome of your skills and artistry. It's made such a difference in my life.
Dr. Sussman, Dr. Pogel, and the entire staff at the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry take great pride in providing not only advanced dental care, but extraordinary cosmetic dentistry. They love what they do and have a partnership with their patients toward long-term dental health.
For a bright, confident, beautiful smile.
Thank you, Dr. Sussman.
Thank you, Dr. Pogel.
Thank you.
Change your life, change your smile.
For more information, call the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry at 22 Smile or visit 22-smile.com.
WYSL. The WYSL store is now open, and your car's crying for an official Voice of Liberty bumper sticker. There's a great selection to help you show your love of God, liberty, and the Constitution. Here are just a few available right now. Shut up, Fauci. Kathy Hokum. No more masking. Open the freaking schools. Scam alert January 6th. No vax mandates. God, please help us. Close the Mexican border. Save America. Stop voting for Democrats. Support the Second Amendment And your mask doesn't protect squat, but there's more. These are standard weather-resistant bumper stickers guaranteed to get you horn honks and thumbs up in traffic. Choose from other locally made WYSL Voice of Liberty merch too, like tees, hoodies, drinkware, and more. Perfect gifts for any Liberty lover you know. Be sure to check out the exclusive WYSL Mount Worstmore shirts, hoodies, and coffee mugs depicting our 4 worst presidents. Guess who's front and center? Be free, make a statement. Shop the WYSL store at WYSL1040.com.
A free solution.
Yes, it is Larry Sharp. I am here on A Free Solution, WYSL, Rochester, New York, and WACK in Newark, New York. Thank you for giving me a chunk of your afternoon/evening. I appreciate it. I want to get to the chat. The chat's been blowing up, and I want to cover some of that here. As you know, you can also watch the show online, listen to the show online if you want to. Up to you. All's good. Doesn't matter. Joe says, but Larry, if we don't have the political party insiders who know the best candidates that match the party platform, how will we get all the things we care about passed? That is a valid question. And I'm going to tell you something. Sadly, I know you're joking, but a lot of people believe you. They say we have to have the insiders do it so we can get the stuff done, so we can move stuff forward. And I would ask you, depending upon what state you're in, for sure the nation, when has it actually worked? Not in at least a decade, if not multiple. Joe goes on, I'm certain that for 20 years of Democrat control, the candidates the party handpicks will decriminalize cannabis and restore the rights after incarceration. This is again showing that he's teasing. Without question, he's right. 20 years, Democrats have run New York State, saying they would do that and haven't. But Larry, they've legalized cannabis. Yes, that's not what Joe said. He said decriminalize it. Treat it like a plant. They've done none of that. Joe was correct. These insiders are not helping. Sam says, schools have gotten worse for kids and teachers. Totally correct. Who they haven't gotten worse for? Administrators. Administrators and union bosses run our education. Sam is correct. Teachers are getting hammered and still leaving. Kids are getting crushed and still destroyed. You are correct. He continues, results are worse and pay for teachers are lower while costs have skyrocketed. Yes, yes, and yes. We should be supporting teachers, not administrators. Well, Larry, aren't you scared the administrators won't vote for you? They're not going to vote for me. Got it. They're not going to. The teachers' unions hate me. They won't even see me. True story. 2018, the teachers' union in New York State is doing their nominating convention committee. So I show up at the convention physically. I'm out to the room where they're supposed to be nominating, deciding who they're going to support and endorse. I'm sorry, endorsing committee. Yeah. So I go there and I say, can I come in and speak to you? They said, no. But you're going to choose who you're going to endorse. They went, yeah. I said, great. So can I go in and talk to you? Because don't you want to hear from candidates? Now, again, at this point, I was on the ballot. I had gotten the signatures. I was going to be in the ballot. I was a libertarian candidate. And they said, no. They literally wouldn't even let me talk to them. That's what the teachers' unions, how they work in this state. So am I mad or worried about making administrators unhappy? No. They're not going to vote for me anyway. My hope, Sam, is that teachers will get it. That I am here to support them and the kids, not the administrators. So we'll see. He continues, we need Larry's solutions to fix our schools. He's right. It's true. Absolutely. Amy says, I signed for you last time just to vote for you, and I will gladly do it again. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. Tim says, in Idaho, it takes $300 or 500 signatures to get on the ballot for a federal office. Wow. That's doable. That's amazing. Tell me again how New York loves democracy. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you that because it's not true. But it's a valid point. Again, what's the problem? You might go, Larry, do I really want 5 crazy people on the ballot? then don't vote for them. Vote for the one that you like. And you know what? I bring this up because we had this in New York before. Remember we had the rent is too damn high party? Okay. What if that party got a bunch of votes? Didn't win, probably not going to win, but what if they got a bunch of votes? That would tell the Democrats and Republicans who are winning that they better deal with the rent, that we care about the rent in New York State, and they have to do something, not just go other guy bad. So even if the smaller parties lose, if they take up enough energy, the other parties have to see. Imagine if we had, say, a teachers' rights party, a Second Amendment party, whatever. If you saw enough people voting for that party, people would have to deal with those issues. Instead, we have a left and right paradigm that in theory supports these views, but does nothing. Tim, you are absolutely correct. Thank you for that. Yes. So the Rocket Man says the establishment is going too far. But who's going to stop them if we can't get on a ballot and get rid of them? If we can't create a coalition against them? That's the issue. It's a coalition against them. Lisa says, you're not wrong, Larry. Is there a possibility to get ranked choice passed by the election? How do we get ranked choice voting passed quickly? Sadly, we don't. For this election, that will probably not happen. I hope it will, but there just isn't enough push for it right now. I'm doing my best. I speak about ranked choice voting often. Some of you may know I have what's called the BRO program. The BRO program is supported by all three, the Libertarian Party, the Forward Party, and the Unite New York group here in New York. All of them support the BRO program. And they're all three different independent parties trying to move forward. B for BRO, ballot access, easier ballot access. People should be able to be on the ballot. If you don't like them, don't vote for them. But don't let someone else have their choice be removed. Second, R, ranked choice voting. And for those of you who does, it allows you to vote and rank people. So say you like that handsome Larry Sharp, but you're scared because if I vote for Larry Sharp, I'm afraid that either Kathy Hochul or the Republican's going to win. Either one. Great. Say you're scared of Kathy Hochul, as many people are. You vote for me first, the Republican second. If I don't win, your vote goes to the Republican. We'll say you're a Democrat. You're scared of Republicans. Great. Vote for Larry Sharp. Vote for Hochul second. If I don't win, Hochul gets your vote. Ranked choice voting gives you the safety that there's no such thing as a wasted vote. And the last thing's the O. Open primaries. Vote for who you want, when you want, whatever primary you want. That allows people to vote in places where someone else is not running. You get to pick your actual candidate you prefer. And in gerrymandered districts, it's critical. In non-gerrymandered districts, it doesn't matter.
1 minute.
If it's gerrymandered, it's critical. The BRO program is critical to fix things. It is important. Lisa, I hope that makes sense. I'm with you. I'm pushing it. I hope it'll get adopted here soon. It'll help us tremendously. Ed says removing choice in New York is a bad idea because the reason is it gives a one-party decision to control people's lives. Yes. And that's the key, Ed. Control. But if you actually give people choice, allow smaller parties to have some power, we'll have better Republicans, better Democrats, and we'll have smaller parties win. That's a great solution. It's a free solution, and it'll work. Larry Sharp, thank you so much for giving me a chunk of your day. I will see you all next week.